I went to Japan in the spring of 2023 for 2 weeks, and this was one of my favorite little side jaunts, a 2-day trip cycling around the lakes of Mount Fuji. So the geography here is that there are 5 lakes, one of which is a little bit further out than the others. I'm going to hit all 5 and stay at the far end in a hotel before cycling back the next day. I hopped onto the earliest bus that I could find from Tokyo to Kawaguchiko Station, Mount Fuji. The place was mobbed with tourists, and I couldn't wait to get away from the crowd. I'd arranged to have an outfitter deliver a road bike to the station, and soon I was off towards the first lake. But not before getting a photo of Mount Fuji in the parking lot. The weather can change at any moment, so get your pictures while you can. There's a lot of traffic around the station, and for some reason there's several large car dealerships, but riding on the shoulder wasn't bad. After a while it got kinda steep, and I arrived at the first row climb. It's the one time where better gearing would help. Lake Yamanaka is a little bit out of the way and seems to be more popular during the summer, when people go boating. It's also got a path with an amazing lineup aimed straight at the mountain. Anyways, I had planned to circle all 5, and I found a neat diner for breakfast with a stunning view, so no complaints. Here's that lineup. I'm gonna leave it up for a while. Here's where I stopped for lunch. This place had a breezy porch and jiggly pancakes with local blueberries. Back on my bike, I retraced my route into town again, past the station, and to the second lake, Lake Kawaguchi. Here I deviated a bit to stop at a famous herbal shop known for its lavender ice cream. There was a fair bit of construction, maybe because it was the off-season, but if I was stuck in traffic, the construction workers waved me through. So my detour was unsuccessful. The herbal shop's ice cream machine was broken. That means I'll have to look elsewhere for the lavender ice cream that the internet has recommended so often. On the north side of the lake, I go through some of the most beautiful scenery of the trip, some parks, the first of which is the musical forest. Now I had scheduled my trip to Japan to coincide with the cherry blossom season. If you time it right, you can hit the peak everywhere you go, all around the country. Mount Fuji's peak bloom is much later than Tokyo, and was in its prime for this video. Lots of people are out to enjoy it. Next up is Oishi Park, which was in the process of replanting an enormous flower garden for people to stroll through. Of course, this place sells lavender ice cream, and I was excited to try it. So that's it with the touristy stuff, but I've got some miles to put on if I want to get around the rest of the 3 lakes and make it back to my hotel before nightfall. Just can't get enough of these clouds being spawned off the top of the summit. Love it when the path lines up like this. Getting some sprinkles, this could not be pleasant. Fuji mist. Trademark that. But soon enough, the clouds that were ahead had rolled onto my route, and things were getting darker. It's kind of beautiful, though. I made it to Lake Shoji, where my hotel was, which meant that I only had 1 lake to go. Now, I had planned to circle around all the lakes so I could see both shores of each of them, but the route was closed for winter at this point, and I had to turn back. Alright, we're turning back. Actually, the outfitter had warned me of this, and I just wasn't thinking at the time. I should have used them as a resource, told them my plan earlier, maybe emailed them. Actually, there was a lot about this ride that I could have planned better. On the way back, wet and cold, I had a lot of time to think about the things that I should have brought, like rain gear, or a bar bag or seat bag. This last lake was kind of cool. It had a camping area, and I accidentally ran into the resupply store for Japanese outdoorsmen. Oh, rainbow! Double rainbow. But this huge double rainbow put a smile on my face, and I celebrated with the last of my mala peanuts, the clear favorite snack of my trip. So it's getting cold and dark, and I'm shivering and doing strange yoga breaths just to stay warm. I'm hungry and looking for food, but every restaurant I pass is closed. But the Shoji Mount Hotel was open, and told me they could fire up the kitchen after hours. I put on their tiny indoor slippers, and soaking wet, had an amazing warm dinner. It was the only time I tipped for a meal all trip. So I'm freezing again, and I know how far away my hotel is. When I get there, the concierge is bursting with pride for their hot onsen bath, and tells me I shouldn't even go to my room first. He's right. It felt amazing. I tried their outdoor bath the next morning. It's even better. I guess everyone else checked the weather forecast because I only saw a handful of people during my stay. The clouds were never cleared out, and this was my view overnight. The next day, I had a nice soak in the hot bath and waited for the nearest breakfast place to open. Then I started down the road. No tourist stops today. I just got to get back to the station so I can spend my last day in Tokyo. This place had a bike rack, so I knew they were friendly, and the host was really surprised that I was traveling out in this weather. This one?
Very good. Right. Thank you.
Come on.
cold.
The food was delicious, and I went outside and continued my ride. I had a habit of rolling up to the vending machines as a quick break to check for anything interesting or for Pocari Sweat, my favorite sports drink. This was the largest collection of vending machines I'd seen in one place.
Stickers. Black pepper, that's new. Raspberry rice. What is that? Take a picture of that. It's very tempting. And here's corn soup, maybe. That I could go for.
One of the things I noticed on the bus trip up here were trees with two-toned flowers. I hadn't seen them anywhere else in Japan, and they seemed kind of strange for cherry trees. My app said that these might be related to roses. Do any of you guys know what's going on here? Finally back to Lake Kawaguchi, I'd reached the Herbal shop I tried to get my first lavender ice cream at. The machine was fixed. While it's nice to have something to come back for, it can be just as great to do everything you wanted to do. Just a few more miles and I'm back at the station. That's it. That's the trip. I locked on my bike and sent an email to the outfitter.